A key takeaway from that summit was President Francois Hollande's warning that though weakened, Boko Haram remains a threat, coupled with Nigeria's foreign minister's revelation that the country is solely funding the multinational regional force battling Boko Haram. And we also hear that Britain has pledged £40 million to help Nigeria tackle Boko Haram. Now, let's get more on this as we talk to security intelligence consultant Ahmed Kadiri. Thank you for joining us. Now, one thing, of course, you on from that summit is Nigeria's foreign minister's revelation that Nigeria is solely funding the multinational joint task force in the battle against Boko Haram. Now, what are your thoughts on that revelation?
Well, Nigeria is, as he said, currently funding it, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, given the fact that Western powers in particular seem to have more faith in President Buhari's regime as opposed to Goodluck Jonathan. And with that, they have promised as part of the communique from this summit to offer help in terms of intelligence sharing, training and equipment. So that certainly will go a long way. And like you said in your just a couple of minutes ago, Britain has promised about £40 million. The EU is also promising about 50 million euros. And as part of the communique also, there is going to be a deployment of a regional force comprising of about 8,000 to 8,500 strong.
Now, we'll look at the pledges made by the Western powers, but rarely, President Muhammadu Buhari, upon assumption of office, requested that Nigeria take the lead in the regional force tackling Boko Haram. So, well, why doesn't it fund it alone? Is that the posture of the other countries in the sub-region?
This is a common problem. We cannot go it alone. We need the cooperation of our neighbors who are also affected by the scourge of Boko Haram. So we have to carry everybody along, and it will save us a lot of cost if other neighbors, Cameroon, Niger, also pitch in bringing an end to this menace of Boko Haram. So it certainly will be a cost-saving measure if we bring everybody aboard.
If the others also shown more commitment financially. Now, Ahmed, now let's look at the role of President Francois Hollande in this regional summit. Are you buoyed by the fact that France is coming into the picture to help Nigeria in the fight against terror?
When you take a look at the countries that, most of the countries that are participating in this conference, they're mostly Francophone countries. Nigeria is surrounded by Francophone countries. So definitely French interest is affected here. And Francois Hollande sees it as his role to ensure that French interests are protected. And thus his commitment to this. If you recall, the first conference was held in France on May 17th last year. In 2015, yes, and now we're holding a second conference here, so it shows a lot of commitment on the part of France to ensure that its colonies, its former colonies, sorry, I beg your pardon, are at peace and they are able to represent their interests.
And by the way, its antecedents in peacekeeping operations in countries like Mali and the Central African Republic do not in any way, reduce its ability to effectively tackle a bigger threat, Boko Haram? You don't see it that way?
I don't see it that way. They are able to handle on both fronts with proper coordination, and I think they have been doing a good job in that aspect. So it's not a problem for France.
All right. Now, promises made, how confident are you? Promises have been made in the past by Western powers to help Nigeria, but how confident are you that they will live up to their commitments this time around?
As a country, we should not rest our hopes on those promises. If those promises do come, fine, but if they don't, we should find very effective ways of tackling the problem. We shouldn't rely on those promises. I do not subscribe to that.
Ahmed Kadiri, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.